Okay, guys, welcome to my graduate release model video. I'm going to model for you a first grade math lesson, and I'm going to chunk this out just to emphasize the I do portion of this lesson. So let's go. All right. So this is a fluency, and before I jump into it, I wanted to make sure that you understood. For me, the fluency are pieces that you can do beforehand. So there were about 6 slides for fluency. What I decided to do were to keep these slides. These are slides that my students would do on the day before. So for instance, this is a Monday's lesson. So on Friday during intervention, my students, that first portion of my intervention will be focusing on comparing numbers and then writing them from least to greatest and then from greatest to least. So I would have them just practice that. So we have a couple of those slides here. That's what we do. And then I will put them on Zern. I put this here just as a marker to remind myself that the slides that come after that, these are the slides that they then would do the day of. So on Monday, part of their do now when they arrive, I would go ahead and I would give them this slide. And something you notice here, I created a place value chart for them, right? So I would go ahead and I was very intentional in making sure that each number or each digit has a 3 in the tens place. This is really important for this particular TEK because students are comparing two numbers. But what I know will catch my students as we kind of look at that DOL is going to be when they have to move to the ones place, or if they're not cognizant of how to build the number so that the number then can be greater or less than. Now, something else I could do, let's say this is actually pretty easy for my kids. Then what I would do, I would create it where they would need to give me a digit here. And maybe they will give me a digit here. And I would just give them 2. And then they need to give me numbers here to fill in. So that is then from least to greatest. So this would even be taking the rigor up even higher if simply putting the numbers in that place value chart isn't rigorous enough. So I love this fluency activity, but please don't let it lock you into doing it just one way. Something else, I kept this question because I thought that it was very good in terms of introducing the skill for Monday. So I left it here. I just tagged it as a do now. So between this slide and this slide, I know my students should be successful in just being able to compare numbers before I even jump into my lesson. All right, so here we go. Students will be able to use the lesson in greater than and equal to compare 2 numbers, okay? So that's something I'm going to continuously stamp throughout the lesson. So here we go. All right, guys, today we're going to focus on comparing 2 numbers, right? And I have a friend here. His name is Hungry Alligator. Everybody say, hey, Hungry Alligator. So Mr. Alligator, he's going to help me compare my numbers. Now, one thing I have to tell you about Mr. Alligator before we get started, he is greedy. I mean, he wants to eat all the food. Like when I have 3 cookies, instead of just taking the 3, no, he takes the 10 cookies that I put for myself. He always want to eat most of the food. He always take the bigger stack of cookies and leave me with the least stack. Now, we're going to pay attention to Mr. Alligator's mouth today, and I'm going to trace this. Because when you see Mr. Alligator's mouth open, that means that he is He's eating the most, the greatest amount of food, and he's leaving on this side the least amount. So pay attention today as I go through this lesson to see which way is Mr. Alligator's mouth open, and when his mouth open, he's going to eat which amount? The greatest amount. Which amount is he going to eat? The greatest amount. Excellent job. So let's continue with our lesson for today. Okay, there go Mr. Alligator. Before we trace his mouth, we need to know, how many fish do we have over here? Oh, we have 10 fish. How many fish do we have over here? We have 2 fish. So, I just want to make sure that I'm comparing my numbers correctly. So I'm going to use my place value chart. And since we read from left to right, I'm going to put 10 in my place value chart first. So I know in 10, I have what, 110 and what, 0 ones. Good job. Thank you guys for helping me. I know when it says 2, I have, how many 10s do I have? Oh, I don't have any 10s. There's no 10 there, but I do have how many ones? I have 2 ones. Okay, very good. Now, just by looking at the picture, we know that what, 10 is greater than what, 2. Okay. However, if I was Mr. Alligator, would I want 10 fish or 2 fish? Oh, you know what? I remember Mr. Alligator always want to eat the most. He always eat what? The greatest amount. How do I know that? Well, let's look at Mr. Alligator's mouth. Which way does his mouth open? Oh, it opened towards the 10. Thank you, guys. You're right. Because remember, we pay attention to Mr. Alligator's mouth. And it's showing me that Mr. Alligator is going to eat how many fish? 10 fish. But why is he eating 10 fish again? Oh, because 10 is, and you already have this on your paper, is greater than what? 2. So I know that he's going to open his mouth to what? The 10. And then what happens to that 2? Oh, he pushes it away. I don't want 2 fish. Give me the 10. That's what he's saying, okay? So we know 10 is greater than what? 2. Excellent job. I'm going to show you another example and you're going to help me with this one, okay? Here we go. Now, let's see. How many fish do I have over here? Oh, I have 2. How many do I have over here? Oh, I have what? 10. Okay, well, we're still going to use our place value chart just to make sure we understand what's happening here, right? So, does 2 have any 10s? No, it does not. So, I'm just going to put my 0 there to help me remember that. How many 10s do I have in 10? I have what? 1 10 and what? 0 ones. So, let's see what happened here. With your shoulder partner, I want you to share with your partner which amount of fish is Mr. Alligator going to eat and which way should I point my symbol? Which symbol should I use? I'm going to give you 20 seconds. By the end of 20 seconds, I should know which group of fish will Mr. Alligator use and what is the right symbol. Let's get started. Excellent job. So I heard Josiah and I heard Lillian Group say that they are going to have their alligator eat what? The 10 fish. They are so right because we know that Mr. Alligator is greedy and he wants to eat what? The greatest amount. So let's look at 2. How many of you said 2 was less than 10? Oh, you're so right. 2 is what? Less than how many? 10. You already have this on your paper. Miss Cole is just annotating on the screen. So what do we notice about the alligator's mouth? Great job, guys. You're right. I saw that on your papers when I walked around that you guys had the alligator mouth open up to what? The 10. Why did it open up to the 10 again? Because he wants what? The greatest amount. He wants the biggest amount of fish. So let's go back and recap this. That 2 is, and you're just filling out the blanks that's at the bottom of your paper, is what? Less than. And what was the number we compared to the number 2? 10. Excellent job. Excellent job. You guys are doing amazing this morning. I'm so proud of you. Kiss your brain. Mwah. All right, good. So now I want you to go ahead with your partner. Let's turn to the next page. And then this time you're going to do this with your partner. I want you to remember we're using our place value chart to help us compare how many numbers? 2 numbers. Very good.